Hi guys, Jurassic Junkie here, and I've just read the news and instantly had to grab the camera. Welcome to the Friday Night Rant. So, I must say it's actually Friday night mid-morning rant, simply because I've got people coming up tonight, and also I've just read the news and I am raging, so yes, there's going to be plenty of ranting on this one. But before we start, sponsored by drink, as always, is going to be this time Magnus Special Spiced Honey. Didn't read the rest of it. Apple and honey. So let's see what that's like. At the same time, I've also misplaced my bottle opener once again. So got these trusty things. Hopefully, we're not going to get too much glass with it. Ooh, bit of glass. Hey, right, bottoms up. That's nice. I wouldn't drink many of them actually because I think that's quite twangy, but very, very nice. Before I even get into it, last week I was talking about sabotage when Joe tried to sabotage my little meat boy, and he eventually turned out pretty damn awesome. There he is. So yes, I'm quite chuffed with it. If you already got me on the Facebook, you would have seen it. But if you didn't, that's my super meat boy. So everyone's probably already guessing exactly where I'm going to be going with the majority of this rant, and that is Nintendo's secret press conference that happened last night or early hours this morning, however we want to look at it. And yes, we all know that Nintendo, especially with the handhelds, drip feed. So originally you had your DS, your DS Lite, your DSi, and then your DSi XL. And that used to annoy me. I didn't like the way they did it. But I've kind of come around to the Nintendo way now and just thought, it's going to happen. We all know there's going to be a new 3DS eventually, but we never knew when. And I kind of joked that they would actually release a analog stick and then an XL, or an XL and then an analog stick. So I kind of just said, yeah, they're going to drip feed it as over time, but that was done in jest. I didn't actually believe they'd do it. So if you don't know, obviously get out from underneath your rock, but they've decided that they're actually going to give us a 3DS XL, which, to be fair, looks very nice. Everything about it looked pretty damn awesome, but they're missing the analog stick. And it instantly made me rage, because on the conference they actually says, we listened to what people wanted and they wanted a larger screen, so we gave it you. Well, to be fair, everyone I've ever spoke to about 3DS has never turned around and gone, you know what, I really want a larger screen. They've actually said, I want 2 analog sticks. That's why you got the Circle Pad Pro for things like Resident Evil, because you need 2 analog sticks. And I just can't understand, well in fact I can understand, why on earth they've actually decided to go, here's an extra screen with no analog stick. Now, few people have said, oh yeah, they need to have the gyro underneath it and all that lot. That's bullshit. That's just Nintendo spinning pure shit, because it doesn't matter where it is. The point is that unit is now bigger, so they can obviously fit more stuff on there, and it proves they can get an analog stick on there, because if you go fast forward to about a year and a half, you'll see it have an analog stick. And the reason for it, and like I said, this is all my opinions, this isn't facts, but I'm pretty damn certain the reason why they've done it is because the 3DS is quite new. It's in its baby generation as such. And as I said with the DS, you've got like 4 different generations of the actual DS as it goes along. And the 3DS isn't going to be dying anytime soon, so you're probably going to get another 3-4 years out the length of that actual handheld. Now, if they gave us the XL with analog stick, they f*** themselves, because they've got nothing else to give. We've got the big screen, awesome. We've got the camera already, because that was there from the get-go, and we have the 2 analog sticks, so what else can they give us apart from beefing up the graphics a little bit more? So the reason they've removed the analog stick is simply, well, not removed, never gave it us. The reason they've done that is because they've got something else to drip feed us further on. Now, I've been talking to a few people about this, and before anyone says in the comments, yes, well, Apple do it all the time, that's why I don't buy Apple, because I don't agree in them doing it. I can understand them refreshing the hardware every so often and re-releasing it and trying to get a bit of money, but on purposely not giving something that people have asked for. So in their conference they turned around and went, we listened to what you said and then we made it. No, you didn't. You would have heard us all gone, analog stick. You actually went, oh, I can't hear that, we'll tell it you later. So they've done it on purpose, and it just made me go, fucking Nintendo, that's just bad tactics. The other thing that's really annoyed me as well is there was E3 like a week or 2 ago, and that that wasn't released then. And people might say, well, they didn't have enough time. Okay, they didn't have enough time, and they had a special 3DS conference, and they give you that separate. We could have spoken about the XL on that. But either way, for one, they could have got it into the actual E3 conference, because fair enough, it was all about the Wii U even. But for some of it, they were just talking about the same stuff over and over again. They could have cut a massive wedge out of that and gone, and now we give you the XL, and it would have been an awesome conference. They would have nailed it, because they've got the new console coming out, a new different version of the handheld coming out. They would have nailed E3, and they would want to nail E3 as well. But the reason they haven't is quite simple. People like me and you have probably sat back and gone, I know what you're going to do, Nintendo. You're going to give us the XL. Here it comes. And they didn't. So everyone guesses, well, the XL's not coming out just yet. So anybody who's contemplating, should I buy a 3DS or not, would wait till E3 just to check that the XL's not coming out. And then when they know, they go, no, it's not coming out. They'll go, I might as well buy the 3DS because the XL isn't around the corner yet. And they've gone out and bought it. And I've, again, seen people that said, I've only just bought a 3DS within the last 2 weeks. And that's because they've seen the press conference. They've gone, oh, some new games are coming out. And we know no new hardware is coming out. So this is probably about the best time to me buy one. And then I'll get an XL when it eventually turns up. Well, it's turned up. So they held that information back 2 weeks. So people would go and buy that hardware and go, oh, snap, I've got to buy the XL one now if I want it. Now, people are going to say, well, they've done this. I don't care. I'm not here to argue. This is pure my opinion. And I think it's just dirty tactics. Because I know Nintendo make great games. And I see them as this happy, smiley game factory that makes all this cuteness and good games as well. And I go, you know what, Nintendo, you annoy me every so often, but at the same time you do good. And I've just seen the dark side of it. Them actually sat around a board meeting and just going, right, how can we make money? Let's move that 2 weeks back. We'll get more sales and do this. And I just feel like everybody's there to make money. We understand that. But some people do it better than others. And that to me has just really, really annoyed me. And the thing is as well, when you've got things like Resident Evil, you do want the actual dual analog stick. So therefore they're going to have to make an XL Circle Pad Pro. So you're going to have an XL with a Circle Pad Pro on top of it. It's going to turn into a Wii U tablet soon. So it's just, I'm just so annoyed they've not done it and they're drip feeding it us. And the other thing that's slightly, at first I went, that's quite good of you, Nintendo, and then it kind of made me go, no, you're robbing us again. And what they've said is, I know this will go for us in the UK, I don't know if it affects Japan or America or anything like that, but they've said in the UK, what they're going to do is keep the costs down. They're actually going to take the charger out and the actual docking station out, so you'd just be buying the handheld and nothing else. At first I thought, you know what, that's quite good of them, because obviously we have got the cables already, so we can just plug it in, jobs are good. But it's not, because some people will say to me, no, I will buy an XL and I'll keep my original 3DS, because you're a collector, and if that's what you do, that's fine, that's what we do as collectors. But collectors aren't the major part of the market. Most people, when they go to upgrade, they sell. So what it means now is if somebody wants to sell their 3DS once they've brought their XL, they can either A, sell it without a cable, that won't sell for much, or they'll sell it with the cables and they'll have to go out and buy them again. So it feels like when Vita released and they didn't have the memory card, but you need to get a memory card really, so it's their way of going, look, this needs to be together. If we separate all these parts, it makes it feel cheap, but when you buy them all as a whole, it's still going to be expensive. And that's what they've done. They've taken the parts out and gone, you can buy them separate if you want. Most of us are going to want. I've spoke to Jo, she's like, well, I'll just use one of my other cables. She says, well, one, you're lucky because you've got other cables, because you've still got your old stuff. But most people want. And two, do you want a docking station? She went, yeah, actually, I do want a docking station. So she's got to buy that separate now, which is just an absolute joke. And the other thing, which is just not annoyed me as such, but I remember when they actually released the 3DS colours, I always says, like, if I had a red one, I wanted a red screen, and it was always black. And a few people said, yeah, the reason for it being black is because it improves the 3D. And I did a little test where I made a white card, put it around, and said it didn't affect the colour at all. And now the white Japanese XL is pure white, so it proves they could have done that in the first place. So it kind of annoys me. Now, I'm not saying that's Nintendo's fault, but it's just another thing now. I woke up this morning and went, oh, Nintendo! So, yeah, a lot of Nintendo bashing right there. So, let's not stop a bit more bashing. The Wii U. Now, okay then, this is minor, but this is just something I wanted to point out, which will happen. Now, Jimmy Fallon, which I assume is an American talk show host, never actually watched any of his stuff in the UK. But he had Reggie on this week from Nintendo, and what he was doing is just before, obviously, you bring anybody out, you just kind of beef them up and say, they're doing this or they're in this move, let's bring them out! And he did the same thing, just saying, here's Reggie from Nintendo, and they're bringing out the Wii U. And then he simply just turned around and said, the Wii U, which is a new thing that you add to your Wii, or do you even need a Wii? He didn't know what the device did. Now, one, that's bad on his behalf, because obviously if he's going to introduce someone, do your research so you know what you're talking about. So, fair enough, that aside. But the point is, he was confused as to what this device does because of its name. If it was called the Nintendo Wombat, they would simply know it's nothing to do with the Wii, because it's the Wombat. So, why? It just annoys me they're calling it the Wii U, and I know why, because we and you like to play together, and it's a very funny play on words. But the point is, he's got confused by it, and people that normally buy you Christmas presents and birthday presents are probably going to get confused by it too, i.e. mums and dads and friends that aren't actually big on gaming. So I just think the idea of just calling it the Wii U, which I said before, but this just drives it home, is a bit confusing and murky, and it should just be rebranded altogether, which is probably a bit too late now, as they're probably making all the units, because Amazon, I think in America, said it's actually coming out in November, which makes it going to be an expensive year if you want to get an XL and a Wii U. So, Nintendo bashing done, and I know I'm going to get a lot of flack from it, but that's my opinion, and it's the tactics of it. I don't mind them saying, obviously, we need to make money and all that lot. Everyone wants to make money. It's just the tactics of going, you can have that later because we like to drip feed. So, I've noticed this week that I've actually put down my consoles and not been playing them as much. And I've spent a lot of time buying indie games. I fell in love with indie games, and to be fair, obviously, indie games you have to buy digitally, and I don't mind buying that digital content because I want that money to go over to them. I want them to keep making them games, because from what I've played so far over the last 2 weeks, it's been impressive stuff and I'm really enjoying my indie. So this brings me to when I was on Steam. Steam are really, really clever at making you give them money. And this I can't moan about because they do it in a good way. And what they do is obviously they put on offers. And there was a game that I was after called Cube, and I think this goes for around about £6.99, and I was contemplating buying it, and decided to do a package, which was just a play on words. Anything that has got the word square related in the title, they give you like the square package, and they give you 6 games for £6. So therefore, I can buy a game that I wanted, it's £1 cheaper, and I get 5 free games with it, which is just a no-brainer. You instantly go, purchase, done, sold. And it made me think, why the hell are people like Microsoft not cashing in on this? Now, I know Microsoft can't get big actual digital releases and bunch them all together and sell them for £6, but I'm talking there is a lot of tatty indie riff-raff that's actually on the marketplace, and to be fair, they should be actually sold at around about £1, but they ask top dollar because they're cheeky buggers, and every time they do an offer it's like, look, 10% off, which never makes me want to buy anything. I don't care if you drop 50% off. I never really want to buy something because it's 50% off. I like to buy stuff when you throw loads of other goodies in with it. It makes me go, oh, I'll buy that. And I can't understand if Microsoft want to push digital download and it makes them more money, why they don't group lots of stuff together and sell it. Steam do it, it works well, they've taken my money. Microsoft never brought anything digitally really from them because they don't give you the offers, and I can't understand why they're not doing it. And I know that also applies slightly to Sony, but I don't want to get into that because then people will say you got PlayStation Plus and all that lot, and to be fair, I don't play the PlayStation enough to know exactly how it will benefit me, so I'll just say Microsoft for now, but I'm assuming we can say the same thing from the, Sony. Oh, that was a lot of ranting in 16 minutes. We'll just chill out now, just have a beer. You're right, anyway. Good. So the last thing I want to talk about is just something a bit more light-hearted, but not very light-hearted for the people affected, and that is SWATing. Now, I spoke slightly about this in the past, and another swatting occurrence has come up, so I just wanted to talk about it and just slightly warn a few people. And the idea of swatting is like trolling on the internet. You just troll somebody, and instead of trolling with a few nasty words, you troll them with a SWAT team with guns pointed at your family's face. So it's just a little bit more hardcore than trolling. And the idea was, there was a guy called Jacob who was 16 years old, and he has a Minecraft server. And some people went on there, probably did a bit of griefing, said a few things, and he thought, you know what, you're bad people, you're banned, and kicked him. And they simply sent him a message and says, right, we're swatting you. And they did exactly that. So what they did is simply sent a text message to the local police department. Obviously, they found Jacob's IP address because he's got the server, got his IP, worked out his address, and then from there sent a text message to the police and said Jacob's dad had killed his 14-year-old sister because she came home pregnant. So obviously they come running in the house, guns in the faces, telling everyone to get down, and then eventually they work themselves out, obviously saying this is just a prank and everything is fine. But the point is, from a guy just simply being a keyboard warrior going, "Ah," is actually got a gun pointed at this guy's dad's face, which is obviously scared the living hell out of him. So one is really, really bad that they're doing it. And the other thing is, if anyone ever says to you they're going to SWAT you or anything like that, print screen it, grab their actual ID, because obviously their ID is going to be recorded within the Minecraft server. From there we can back trace the IP address and you can get them done for obviously wasting police time. So protect yourself, and if anyone says they're going to SWAT you, print screen that because you may have a gun in your face within the next 30 minutes. So that's it, Friday night rant evening over. So I'm going to kick back with some beers. I'm actually going to play some indie games now. I'm in love with indie games. I'm actually in love with the PC. It's nice to actually fall back in love with this big thing, because originally I was a console gamer with the retro stuff. Then from there I got into PC really bad, and then I've come back to console again. So I kind of like got my love again for PC gaming, which is absolutely awesome. So, on that note, normally I would say, oh, I've got a shift or I've got to do a night shift now, but I don't, because I've got 2 weeks off, so I'm going to kick back and game. So that leaves us to the question of the week, which I always have to put my hand like that, question of the week hand. And it's going to be about the XL. So for anybody who's actually a Nintendo fan, are you actually going to get the XL? Or are you going to wait and get the XL Analog Stick Plus? So we know they're going to give us an analog stick, it's a given, but the thing is you may have to wait a year or so. So already Joe's contemplating, do I get the XL or do I wait for the analog stick, or do I get the XL and then when that comes out sell that one and then buy this one? So I just want to know, anyone that is a 3DS fan, what are you doing? Are you going to buy the XL and sell your 3DS? Or are you going to keep them both, or are you going to wait out for an analog stick? So I just want to get an idea exactly how you feel about the press conference. So that's it, guys. Hope you have an awesome weekend. I will. There's no doubt about that, because I've got beer and takeaways and computer games, which is just awesome. And I've kicked the table. So thanks for watching, guys. Cheers. Bye.